It's 5 minutes to 9. Good morning and welcome to the review of newspaper editorials on OGPC 90.5 FM. Our cutting razor is the Guardian piece entitled Domestic and Sexual Violence Cases. Focusing on the incidence of domestic and sexual violence in Lagos State, the paper observes that if the incidence is an indicative of the wide prevalence of the vice nationwide, then there is cause for alarm. It, however, knows that incidents of domestic violence do not often go into public domain until they assume extremist status. The Guardian quotes the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency as stating that 4,860 domestic and sexual violence cases have been recorded this year, with 11 women dying from domestic violence in 20 months, pointing out that the society to a large extent enables the crime as victims often find brick walls at the hospitals, police stations, and courts, with some judges giving light punishment, which may not deter others. The paper sees the need for the government to invest in capacity development for the police and other security agencies who handle sexual and gender-based violence cases to arrest, investigate, and prosecute offenders to reduce the incidence. Next is the Nigerian Tribune editorial, which beams its light on the rising cases of kidnapping on the highways. The paper expresses dismay that the highways in the southwest and indeed in other parts of the country have become routes to anguish, even as the federal government has continued to resist calls for the decent way before the Shagamu interchange by terrorists dressed in military camouflage. Nigerian Tribune notes that a similar incident occurred around kilometer 24 near Dominion University last Friday. It observed that Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, over a week now, has become a virtual theater of war, adding that Nigerians traveling ways across the country do not have a better story to tell. Nigerian Tribune, therefore, renews the call for state policing and governance responsibility, just as it calls on the Southwest state governors to properly equip Amotekun with sophisticated arms and ammunition to show their seriousness about state policing. Lastly, we take a look at the Punch editorial entitled Drivers Strike and the Lagos State Government Union Alliance. According to the paper, the recent strike by the commercial bus drivers to protest against harassment and extortion by transport union operatives highlights the failure of Lagos State government to stop the criminal activities of touts. Noting that the strike by the drivers under the aegis of the Joint Drivers Welfare Association of Nigeria follow what they describe as multiple levies and extortion by union thugs, popularly called Agbero. The Punch submits that the excessive charges are usually borne by passengers, thereby hurting the economy and further impoverishing the people. It opines that levy collection should be restricted to parks and garages for effective management and accountability, adding that it is an aberration for unions to forcefully collect levies at bus stops. The paper calls on the Lagos State government to ensure a holistic reform of the public transportation in the state, with the thugs taking off the roads, while bus drivers should ensure strict obedience of traffic laws. The Punch concludes by urging Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to put a permanent end to the lawlessness in the state roads in the interest of the residents. With that piece from the Punch, we come to the end of the package for this Thursday. Join us on Friday